Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sun Belt, Sunday morning preview and recap, as the case may be, as we all await the college football playoff rankings coming out just after noon, East Coast time. Had a lot of time to listen to college football on the drive back from Harrisonburg. That seemed to take forever, but we listened to a lot of college football and then saw a little bit last night and then most of it this morning after I got a little bit of shut-eye. All right, so it started off with Texas Tech taking down BYU. That helps teams like Notre Dame and Miami. Then we go to the SEC championship game where Alabama is a no-show. Georgia dominates. I happen to think Alabama's going to get in. I don't think the college football committee is going to prevent that from happening. I also think they should not get in. Not because they lost to Georgia, but because they lost to Florida State early on in the season. They have 3 losses. They should not get in, but we'll see what the college football committee does. I'm sure they're going to have a bias towards Alabama. We shall see. Now, if they don't get in and they want to eliminate college football championship games, that's fine by me, except they're never going to do that because it's a ton of money. So let's not kid ourselves. Then we get the heavyweight fights later on in the evening. You get Indiana overcoming a halftime deficit and hammering Ohio State in the second half. The score was only 13-10, and Ohio State got shut out in the second half. You know how they lost? They lost to a former JMU wide receiver, Elijah Surratt, and the defensive back knocked down the ball right before the field goal. He came from Navy. So those G5 guys seem to be able to hang with those Power 4 guys pretty good. Not to mention that Indiana wide receiver was outstanding all night long. All right, then you have, and so Indiana's going to be the number 1 seed. Then the game that we all waited to find out for JMU is Virginia and Duke. Went to bed. It was 14-7 at half. Actually got up in the middle of the night. Wasn't even the middle of the night. Saw it went to overtime. Like, how did Virginia get 10 points in the last few minutes of the game? Incredible how they did that. And then Duke goes right down, scores a touchdown, and then what are we doing? Smartest man in the room play, a flea flicker, and then throwing it in double coverage. Not a great look by Virginia. And that seals the victory for Duke. Now, I'd love to think JMU is in. They should be in. Will they get in? All right. And so these people are going to go nuts when Tulane and JMU get in. 2 group of 5 teams and no Alabama. We'll see. Again, JMU should be in. I'm not necessarily convinced they will be. Alabama should not be in. They probably will. So we'll all see how it unfolds. I actually am going to Orange Theory to work out, so I'll respond right after that. It happens to be a noon class. What can you do? All right, thanks for all of your support. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll obviously react once the College Football Committee makes their choices.